Hi everybody, how are you? It's Marge from Pink Shell Beach, and tonight we're doing my beautiful decks. This is started by Woodland Hag, and I'm so happy to have found her channel. It's like, going on vacation to watch her videos. So, what a lovely person. So, she did a video with a bunch of her decks she found beautiful but not necessarily used. Hers all fit very nicely in a nice genre. Mine are a little more scattered. And these are not all decks that I connect with, and not all decks that I use. And in fact, one of them I most likely going to trade, although it's beautiful. So we're going to start with the simple and move to the more complex. So the first deck I want to look at is the Invisible Light Tarot by Brandy Eve Allen. So this is a photographic deck that she already had the photos made and realized they would adapt well to tarot structure. So she didn't take these pictures to make a deck. They're made from a lot of old vintage expired film. So they're really beautiful, really moody, just stunning. Very modern, yet kind of retro feeling at the same time. Very moody, very evocative. So I've pulled some of my favorite cards. Look at that. And there's some black and whites that are lovely. The guidebook has very minimal. This is probably my favorite card in the deck. Isn't that just going to give you this. Yeah. She's cool too. So the book is very minimal. Doesn't really say much about these particular pictures. They're just kind of images. They're just kind of generic. This reminds me of that Led Zeppelin album. I forget which. Is it Houses of the Holy? I forget. That one where the little kids are climbing the rocks. Beautiful. It's cute. So it has a sense of humor. Oh, this might also be my other favorite card in the deck. I love this Ace of Cups. It's just such a happy, beautiful, beautiful card. So this is a really, really pretty deck. I don't use it very much. But even Brandy Eve Allen said this is more a deck, this is more a collection of photographs than a deck. So that's how I think of it. The next deck is the Jonasa Jaus or Jonasa Jaus. It's not Spanish, it's not Portuguese. I believe it's called Galician. But it's pretty easy to tell what the cards are, including the majors and all the minors and the courts, because if you can count from 1 to 10 in Spanish, it's pretty easy to follow. So this is a stunning deck. It's at once kind of Art Nouveau feeling and also yet very contemporary at the same time. I love this Fool. Because it's almost like she's, she can't see. She's blinded by the sun's rays. I love that. So I find what I love about this deck, aside from the color palette and the beauty, it makes me think. It gets me curious. There's different images. This is the Chariot. I love this. I love this. It's more of a yin kind of, she's lying on the ground dreaming about all the places she could go, as opposed to you know, whipping those horses and making them go. I just love this. It's a more receptive, much more receptive kind of movement. Love that. Love that. The color palette's just beautiful. So in all these decks, I've pulled together in the front some of my favorites. Here's the King of Pentacles. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Here's the Nine of Wands. I mean, look at these. These are like paintings. These are like works of art. I love this Ten of Swords. I think this is, again, just so interesting. She's got the swords coming across her eyes. So it's almost like it's how she's seeing the world. This is the lens through which she's seeing the world, through despair and her mind. But I love how it's portrayed in the glasses like that. It's just great. This is Seven of Pentacles. I mean, these are just so stunning. I happen to, for the most part, like the images in this deck that have no people. Like, look at this. That is just exquisite. And the color palette. A lot of the ones with people, aside from the couple that I've showed, which I do really like. Here's the Hermit and the Hanged Man are both butterflies, but in different stages. Here, the Hangman's really shifting and gonna have that change of perspective because it's gonna become a whole different thing. And here, the Hermit's just kind of withdrawn. Those are beautiful. So a lot of the other ones that have people in it are kind of postery looking and a little too modern. Like, so I don't love these. I love these more kind of old-fashioned looking. So this is a nice deck. I don't use it a lot, but I use it sometimes. I'm really glad I have it. I think it's beautiful. So that's Jonasa Jaus, the gringo way of saying it. Okay, the next one is Bohemian Gothic by Baba Studios. Here's the back. This deck I use really only in the fall, around Halloween. It's just so moody and so stunning, and I usually don't even like blues, but this color palette on this has these blues and these reds. I love all the pages in this deck. They're so haunting. Look at this. Ugh. So beautiful. Look at this Six of Swords. Look at this colors. Are just that's one of the prettiest, maybe the prettiest Six of Swords ever. Look at that. Gorgeous. So this is a beautiful, beautiful deck with these hints of color in this blue, a lot of blues and reds that I usually don't even like. Look at these colors. Cups. Ace of Wands. Look at that, it's so great. And this deck also has a sense of humor. Here's the Four of Cups. I love that. That's funny. Here's the Ace of Swords. And there's some really peculiar looking people in it, like and some people say this is creepy, but I think it's funny. Just really, really pretty, moody deck. So that's Bohemian Gothic. And then this deck is a favorite of many people. Everybody loves this deck. I think it's beautiful. and it doesn't feel like my deck at all. It evokes such a specific feeling, and I really respect that. It's the Pagan Otherworlds by Usi. Stunning, stunning artwork. It just doesn't feel like my deck. It has this unique seeker card, which is really beautiful. And these cards are just stunning paintings. Look, I don't know if you can see up close the work. I don't know if these are done in oils. I love pairing like the Emperor and the Empress. And I love the Queen of Cups. I mean, look at these. Just so beautiful. I wish the deck had all people that were rustic and twig-like. Oh, I didn't pull any of them. There's a lot of people that are just covered in twigs, but then there's a lot of cards that are very, very Christian-looking to me, like the Lovers is Adam and Eve, and the Hangman looks like Jesus, and yeah. Here's the Tower. Beautiful Tower card. And then the Minors are paintings that are both hip but also scenic. So you can get, there's the Loss and the Five of Cups. I find this Nine of Swords, at first I didn't understand it, but then you can see there's a chain around the swan's neck. They're just really beautiful. Subtle. I love this Eight of Cups. I really love that Eight of Cups. I think it really captures the mood and the feeling of Eight of Cups. Just a Page of Cups. This is on the cover of the book. Ten of Cups. So again, just, I wish I could connect with this deck more because it's so beautiful. But it has a very, to me, even though it's called pagan, it has a very Christian feel to it that is hard. It feels very Celtic, I guess, or Gaelic, or I'm not sure exactly. But it just feels like I'm not supposed to have this deck. I just can't. I don't know, and I feel bad because I think it's exquisite. I mean, maybe I could just keep it for the paintings. And you could see, can you see the detail? They're just so beautifully painted. So that's Pagan Otherworlds. And then this tag's about 5 decks, so I've only picked 5. And the last one I'm going to show you is the Tarot of the Holy Light. So we've gone from the simplicity of the invisible light to the opposite end of the light spectrum, which is Tarot of the Holy Light. So this is a stunning, stunning, stunning deck, which I haven't even really begun to study or appreciate. The drawings are really reminiscent of real alchemical drawings from like the 14 and 1500s with a bright splash of color. They're loaded with symbolism. I'm going to show you the book in a second because the book is really nice. Look at that. Look at this Strength card. I mean, they're just incredible. So there's a lot going on in these cards. There's a lot of metaphor and symbolism and alchemical imagery. I love this Lovers card. It's like here's their outward appearance, but then here's what's going on, at least how I see this. I haven't actually looked at the book. This is sort of their, to me it looks like this is their facade, you know, how they present above the ground, how they present to the world, but then below, they're very entangled, maybe not in such a healthy way. Really interesting and beautiful. The Six of Swords is beautiful. So as an indication of the complexity of this, here's the Page of Cups. And this was one of the first cards that I pulled when I used this. Sorry if there's a little bit of nudity in this card. All the pages are like that. So it goes into quite a lot of detail, more than I've seen, about the personality of the Page of Cups and how he's an ally to the Queen, and a lot about his personality. But what really stood out to me is that he, when he can be really emotional, he has to be careful that there's no tear in his aura, and that's what this little circle is, like an auric tear, where all his I guess all his emotions come pouring through there. Sometimes here it is. Sometimes he feels flooded with information from the astral plane, as the waterfall descending from the hole in his sky suggests. He must learn to close his aura and reject certain thoughts, substances, and frequencies outright, just to keep from being a victim of the times. I mean, that's incredible. I've never seen anything like that in a deck. So this deck, and I know Gail at Phoenix Rising, I think is the new channel name, is doing a whole course on this deck with the creator, Christine Payne Towler. Sorry. Here's a Nine of Cups. Here's a Three of Swords. I love this. What I thought of when I saw this is that it's that heartbreak is not so much about the personal heart, but sort of the cosmic egg, and the more universal, that it's a more universal experience. But the book says something a bit different. But I love that it's not a human heart. It's just such a unique. Look at this Empress. I mean, this is definitely one of my very favorite, if not my favorite, Empress cards ever. I mean, she's just got, I don't know, and she's birthing everything, and I just think that's incredible. So we'll end on this image. So the 5 decks we covered was Invisible Light, Jonasa Jaus, the Bohemian Gothic, Pagan Otherworlds, and Terra of the Holy Light. So those are a few beautiful decks. And thank you so much to Mags for creating this tag. It's fun to look at decks like this. Okay, bye.